Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. In this edition, we will talk about how lost forests are being revived in Meghalaya. We will also take a look at the Union budget proposals that are aimed at taking the Northeast of India to newer heights. Union Minister Sarvanand Sonowal visited Tripura on Tuesday. The minister urged the people of Tripura and other northeastern states to take advantage of every opportunity presented by the Union Budget 2022-2023. A report from our Agartala correspondent.
The Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Minister of Ayush Sarvananda Sonowal said the present budget is the golden opportunity for the next 25 years to grow ourselves and making India a self-reliable nation and the most powerful nation in the world.
Indian budget, the provision for the development of Northeast is more than the earlier times. It is the increase more than 11.1%. And this budget has given the provision of 76,000 crores for the year of 22 and 23. Likewise, created the provision of developing industrial tourism and in the national budget, which will give tremendous scope to the people of Tripura, to the government of Tripura, to take the advantage of this particular national provision. 5 ministers have been included in the Council of Ministers. This is the demonstration of Honorable Prime Minister's commitment and respect and love to the people of Northeast. This is the advantage given to the people of Northeast. Now, with all the ministers from Northeast, we will have to work hard with the people of the entire Northeast so that we could perform better. Because we have ability, skill, we have resources, but all need to be integrated with dedicated devotion, discipline and commitment.
During his visit, a memorandum of understanding has also been signed between Tripura Government, Inland Waterways Authority, Land Port Authority of India for maintenance and development of Inland Waterways Terminal near Srimantapur in the presence of the Union Minister. Apart from that, the Union Minister, who also holds the Ayush Ministry, said that a total of 50 health and wellness centers have been sanctioned and a 50-bedded integrated Ayush hospital would also be open here in Tripura. This is Reena Numathem for Northeast Diary from Agartala.
The whole Northeast region of India is going to receive higher benefits from the budget proposals for the next financial year, 2022-23. The Finance Minister has also announced a new scheme called Prime Minister Development Initiative for the Northeast, PM Divine, with allocation of 1,500 crore rupees for the region. Among all the states of the region, Mizoram is going to reap major benefits from this year's budget proposals. Here is a report from a correspondent from Aizawl.
In this budget, the Special Accelerated Road Development Program SARDP has got the proposal of allocation of over 10,500 crore rupees. The projects comprise the Arunachal Highway and Kaladan Multimodal Transport projects. The Kaladan Multimodal Transport project has been taken up under the Act East policy and designed to serve as a gateway to Southeast Asia. The key point of the project is to build up a highway from Mizoram to the Sittwe seaport in Myanmar so as to facilitate road transport and trade relations with South Asian markets. The project, which is now under construction, is expected to be completed by next year. On the other hand, under the newly announced program, Prime Minister Development Initiative for Northeast, PM Divine, 7 projects will be implemented. Of them, Mizoram has received 2 important projects. The allocation is 600 crore out of the total 1,500 crore rupees under PM Divine. Commenting on the budgetary benefits, Governor Hari Babu Kambampati said that these projects will amplify the progress of growth and development of Mizoram, while Chief Minister Zoramthanga observed that a revolutionary economic development will be achieved through these 2 new projects. In this regard, Associate Professor of Economics of the Mizoram University, Dr. James L.T. Thanga, said that these benefits will bring significant change to the state economy.
For Northeastern states, there is a special mention in the budget statement what is called PM Divine, Prime Minister Divine Scheme. Especially for Mizoram, we have two very mega projects. One is Aizawl Bypass Road. See, we have a traffic problem, a communication problem. So this is a welcome move. And in addition to this, we will be having bamboo link road. The name says bamboo, but it is basically agriculture link road, the farm link road. So this will help the farm population, agriculture sector.
Of the two new projects, 500 crore has been allocated for the construction of a bypass in Aizawl and 100 crore rupees for a pilot project to be constructed as bamboo link road at different locations in various districts. The bamboo link project adopted by the state government is envisaged to boost up industrialization and augment the state's economy. Officials of the state planning department said that the Aizawl bypass project will include construction of roads and a 2.45 kilometer long underground tunnel to expand the internal roadways of the capital city, and the bamboo link road will have an 18 feet wide roadway with a 10 feet wide pavement. For Northeast Diary with Subhashis Chanda, Irene from Aizawl.
Task Force for Music and Arts, TEFMA, Government of Nagaland, has come out with a unique initiative to nurture the young and inspire the next generation of musicians by introducing Student Advisor for a Day. The concept gives an opportunity for children to visit the TEFMA facilities, interact with young musicians, and share their dreams for Nagaland. More from a Kohima correspondent.
Starting off the project on 4th of February 2022, 8-year-old Jentijung Tirshana Iyer, a student of Pilgrim Higher Secondary School in Dimapur, who is also a musician, became the first ever student advisor for the day. She got the opportunity to interact with Nagaland Chief Minister Nupurio, government officials, musicians, visited music school, toured the TEFMA facilities, and also inaugurated I Love Nagaland Children Art Exhibition at the Gallery of Contemporary Art at Regional Center of Excellence for Music and Performing Arts at Jotsama. Let's hear from Advisor TEFMA, Government of Nagaland, Teja Meru, more on the initiative.
So TEFMA Advisor for the Day, we started our journey to identify who should be our first ever student advisor for the day. And we came across this little Instagram video, hardly 1 or 2 minutes, of this girl, Miss Jentijung, performing. And when I saw her talents are extraordinary, and just her courage, and what also impressed me a lot was her diction. Her just able to really spell out clearly the words she had in mind, the lyrics to the song. And I think just seeing her, hearing her speech, and having her for that day, I think she just did justice to that post that she was given on that day. And it just brings immense joy that we were able to use a child to also speak, not just her heart, but also to be a voice for all the children of Nagaland. And I think children, any day, if guided properly, given the right platform and the right channel, I think they are children, but in the sense they are thinking, they're equally willing to be a participating member of the society, but I think we just sort of sometimes keep them as children for too long. So what this episode taught me as I reflect back is that yes, age-wise they're children, but they're thinking children. Especially this day and age with so much exposure, I think they're ready to really move ahead faster than we imagine. And I think as adults we need to really continue to endeavor to create as many platforms as we can for them to express their life, their thoughts, their dreams. I think that is our job, and not say, their time will come. She gave two sort of suggestions to us. One was that of a music residency for children, and I don't know how soon, but it will not be very late. We will definitely organize a children's music camp residency, probably maybe in Dimapur. That's what we are planning. Another suggestion that she gave, TEFMA maybe support a musical where actually children are playing a major role. Again, this is actually doable. So we are already in this discussion to people who are producing dramas and musicals, where they will produce, but TEFMA will support it, where children also can participate. So that is definitely under process.
TEFMA plans to identify children or adults who are gifted from across the districts of the states to be part of this initiative. For Northeast Diary, this is Asanyo from AIR News, Kohima.
Marsqueen is a quiet, serene village located at Nongstoin CNRD block in West Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya. Over the past many years, the village has become completely treeless and is wearing a barren look due to deforestation and other human activities. To address this issue, community members of Marsqueen village have taken a step forward towards implementing afforestation at the village through a community nursery under the Meghalaya community-led landscape management project of the Meghalaya Basin Development Agency. Our Shillong correspondent gives us the details.
The Meghalaya Community-led Landscape Management Project is a specialized project of the government of Meghalaya, supported by the World Bank. The project is aimed at strengthening rural communities and traditional institutions so they can take charge of their natural resources by implementing community-led sustainable natural resource management plans in a systematic manner. In Marsqueen village, under the initiative of the villagers and handholding of the project, residents have been able to revive the degrading forest covers of the area. The villagers form committees and groups and work primarily on the protection and preservation of the two existing forests, Lau Adong and Lau Kintang, besides conducting afforestation works in the barren land with the hope of restoring the forest cover. The villagers also work to provide perennial supply of water by digging ponds. Through the project, the villagers have set up a community nursery where different types of saplings are grown, and so far over 500 saplings have been planted in different areas. The saplings are protected and surrounded by bamboos, and these saplings are also sold off to neighboring villages. Village leader Neston Paliar said that certain laws and guidelines have been laid down to forbid the villagers from cutting trees recklessly. In the Lau Kintang, which is a sacred grove, no villagers is allowed to cut trees or damage the flora and fauna, and in Lau Adong, which is the village land, villagers are allowed to cut trees in moderation.
The Lau Adong is under the protection of the entire village. We do not allow anyone to cut trees in this area except if they intend to use the wood for funeral purposes. In the past, our ancestors would perform rites and rituals in this Lau Kintang, and no one was allowed to disturb the area. The first thing the Meghalaya Basin Development Agency did was organize awareness program. Following this, the headman appointed members to form committees and groups. We have also taken up this with the village Darbar and started our work shortly. For example, afforestation, dug out ponds for drinking purposes, and began setting up of the community nursery back in the year 2019.
Afforestation, self-drinking pond, and takiniki pond.
The villagers are hopeful that the community nursery will provide the necessary saplings to revive the surrounding areas and make the village lush and green again, which could attract employment opportunities for the villagers in the future. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News Shillong.
Ravangla's Buddha Park, also known as Tathagat Sthal, is among the key centers of pilgrimage tourism and a top tourist attraction in South Sikkim. A Sikkim correspondent has filed this report.
Buddha Park or Tathagat Sthal was constructed between 2006 and 2013 and hosts an over 130-feet statue of the Buddha, which is the site centerpiece. The statue was consecrated on 25th March 2013 by the 14th Dalai Lama, and Buddha Park found a spot on the Himalayan Buddhist circuit. The Buddha statue also marks the occasion of the 2550th birth anniversary of Gautama Buddha. The life of Buddha is depicted in two different manners in a gallery built in spirals. Officer on special duty at Buddha Park, Chiten Bhutia, speaks about the design and significance of Tathagata Sthal.
The main attractions of Buddha Park is the statue of Buddha, which is 137 feet. It was started to build in the year 2007 and completed in the year 2013. The area covered by Buddha Park is 25 acres and it is in the shape of peace sign. As per Buddhist mythology, it is said as Chelung Telsum, which means three God. Left side Guru Rinpoche, in the middle Buddha, and in the right Chenrezig. So while making a statue of three gods in the state of Sikkim, the statue of Buddha was made in this place. Except this reason, there was no any historical background behind this place. It was just for tourist pilgrimage. But after construction was over, the government tried to give the mythological value to the statue by bringing ring shell, means relic of Buddha, from 13 countries and kept inside the hall, so that pilgrimage may get blessing. His Holiness 14th Dalai Lama has given the name of Buddha Park as Tathagata Sthal. The statue is made up of copper and it contains 67 metric tons of copper, and the statue is in Dharma Chakra Mudra. In the forehead of the statue, a diamond is pasted. All the body parts of the statue was gold coated. Just below the statue, lotus throne was made. Inside the statue, a big hall is there. The small statue of Buddha was made in the central part of the hall, and it is surrounded by ring shell, that means relics of Buddha. The ring shell, the relic of Buddha, was taken out 3 times in a year, especially in Buddhist festival for public darshan or to show it to public. In the 4 corner of the wall, the painting of 4 sects of Buddhism was made, that is, Kagikpa, Nyingmapa, Gelugpa and Sakyapa. In the staircase, the painting of Gandhara and Tibetan arts was made to understand the 109 lives of Buddha by general public. The statue is surrounded by beautiful scenery. In the back side of the statue, we see Mount Nursing and Jammu. And in the front side, it is covered by Man-made Wildlife Sanctuary. The Congregation Hall forms the half of the yin-yang arrangement in the landscape zone of the Tathagata Sun. It is a place for interaction between the pilgrimage and the teachers of Buddhism for seminar and sermons. True to its function as a vessel for gathering, it lies between the worldly and spiritually in the landscape zone where the heft of its steel member is balanced on the other side by the playful lightness of the water fountain.
Buddhist circuit was built by the state government to boost pilgrimage and tourism in the region. The complex also hosts the Chojo Lake surrounded by forest. Snow-clad peaks in the background, enveloped by dense forest and mountains, spacious pathways and landscape gardens also make the site a favorite for tourists as well as local people. The park also hosts a Buddhist conclave and a museum and meditation center. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Namo Dikshit for Northeast Diary, AR News, Sikkim.
In our Personality of the Week section today, we have an interview with PVSLN Murthy, Chairman and Managing Director, NEDFI. The interview is by our Guwahati correspondent, Manas Pratim Sharma.
Good evening, Mr. Murthy. Welcome to this episode of Northeast Dairy.
Good evening.
We'll discuss today on the various activities of NEDFI. Would you please tell us what is the role of NEDFI in shaping up the economy of Northeast?
NEDFI is Northeast Development Finance Institution. Was established in 1996 when there were no any PSB banks except State Bank of India was functioning in the area of Northeast. So Northeast was not having lot of public sector banks. So NEDFI has played a critical role then by taking lot of risks in financing to the primary industry like cement, steel and so many other industries. It has taken all the risks and developed the industry over a period of 25 years. Now, after having so much of experience in various fields, NEDFI is concentrating on providing the finance to the needy entrepreneurs, especially women and other entrepreneurs, in creating jobs and bringing the affordable credit to these people. So our interest rate is comparatively far less than other financial institutions operating in this area in respect of MSME financing.
Right. What are the present activities that are being carried out by NEDFI?
Yeah. So recently we have introduced 3-4 types of loans which will bring an easy credit to the women entrepreneurs and also MSMEs. The first one is that as you are aware, in Assam there was a problem of MFIs, microfinance institutions, charging very heavily to the borrowers.
Right.
And they are borrowing from multiple MFIs. So now what we did, we have invested in some of the MFIs in Northeast who are reaching out to the far-flung areas. So we have tied up with them. We have introduced a new scheme that financing to the needy through BC channel. That is Banking Correspondence Channel. So in this, we will finance to the borrowers of these MFIs directly at a rate of interest rate around 10%. So that they need not pay 24% interest. Now they are paying 20 to 24% interest to the MFIs. So this scheme has started in the month of December and running very well, and we are going to increase the operations in this direction. Second scheme which we have introduced is for the MSME. All food processing industries, all the homestays and clinics, not big hospitals, clinics. Because in many of the states in Northeast, in state headquarters and tier 2 cities needs clinics. So these clinics ke liye we have launched a separate scheme with a lesser interest rate. So doctors who are establishing the clinics can avail this facility. And also food processing, tea industry. Recently Assam government has announced 30% subsidy for small tea manufacturers. So we brought out a scheme synchronizing with that scheme, and we have brought it at a very, very affordable rate. So majority is that in the hospitality, in the field of food processing and tea growers, and these homestays. These are all the areas where the potential is available, and we are introducing these new schemes for the benefit of these industries.
Right. So you spelled out what you are doing for people of Assam. Would you please tell us what is your activities for the other northeastern states?
Yeah, actually important thing which is there is the funding through MFIs, because in the other northeastern states, because of the distances and the less population, we have to operate through MFIs. So all these MFIs being invested by us, we are investing in their capital and also funding them to onward lending it to the beneficiaries. Number one. Number two, we have also come out with one venture capital fund. Okay, this will be investing in small startups which are established at various states like Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Meghalaya, all these states, all the other than Assam and Manipur, they are also coming up with the startups. So we are now giving a wide publicity, and from 15th of February to 15th of March, we are launching a startup fest. We're giving a lot of publicity to it, and we are publishing in the papers and newspapers and also in your radio. So those which are all the startups who have started recently, so they can come, approach us. We will support them in investing the money into their startups, or if they are yet to come up to the level of investment, we will try to advise them how to get these grants or angel investment, etc. We'll guide them, handhold them. So from today onwards, next 1 month, we are organizing this fest, investment fest for the startups.
Right. And another initiative of the NetFee is to create direct or indirect job. So what success you have achieved so far in creating jobs?
See, every month the kind of loans we are giving directly to the beneficiaries, I have seen this last quarter, 29,924 jobs have been created. Only in one quarter. So last quarter we have this thing. This is the direct and indirect employment. One is through our MFIs. Wherever we are lending it to the new borrowers and women borrowers, there is a creation of employment. Number two, there is a CSR activity where we train the women in our Kshetri training center, and we will give them raw materials. They create the goods and give it to us. We will give them the marketing linkage. This is another activity under CSR. This is also generating employment. Number three is a lot of startups. So far, 31 startups have been invested by us. So all these 31 startups are creating jobs in and around northeastern states. Now, direct employment has come around 500 to 600 in the startups, and around 3,000 employment has been created indirectly. So there is a lot of improvement in the creation of employment in the area of northeastern region.
Right. And how have you been tied up with the state governments to boost up your activities in the region?
No, all state governments are coming forward, but each state government has got their own policies, so we are going according to their policies. Suppose Assam government, they are also joining us in the respect of startup financing and investment. So they are coming forward. Tripura is coming forward with some fund. And recently we had tied up with Numaligarh Refinery Limited. They came forward with 30 crores angel fund, which will be managed by us. A lot of collaborations we are having with all the state governments in lending it to the ultimate borrowers.
Right. And finally, Mr. Moody, what is your future initiative for the betterment of the Northeast region?
So main is that whatever initiatives now we have taken up, it should be stabilized, and the scale has to be improved. Now the scale is little bit low because of the technology problem. So now once we improve our technology, I think the scale of operations will be increased, number one. Number two, Government of India, we are in the final stages of negotiation, and finally they may also give 100 crores, another new fund, which will be helpful in giving grants or taking a risk capital investment. So these two initiatives may be going to realize in very short period, and I will take opportunity to bring it to the knowledge of your listeners through your radio.
And finally, any message you would like to convey to our listeners of Northeast?
All these people, there are a lot of opportunities. Please visit the sites of NEC, Northeastern Council, NEDFI, all these having a sites, very detailed information is available, employment opportunities are available. Please take this opportunity, especially youth of Northeast, they got a lot of opportunities because of the increase in the infrastructure. There is going to be trains to all the capital heads. There are flights, there are roads, all these activities very high in Northeastern region nowadays. So the opportunity has to be encashed by the youth of Northeast.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy. You have given your time and deep insight of the Net 3 activities in Northeast. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Before we sign off, we bring to you this melodious song from Assam's musician Angarag Mahanta, known by stage name Papon. He recently released this song on the occasion of Valentine's Day.
Hopum jokari patole dhani boli joa rati tu jari tumi mor hopum lesa tumi e baro কাগজে বন্ধু আনা লাগে গো একটি পাহাড়ে মই তাতে রই যেন মাথো শুনো তোমাকে बिना यारा तेरे संग ज़्यादा लगे मुझे मेरा जहां दिल सीधा सादा कर बैठा वादा तेरे बिना जाऊं कहाँ लाखों तकरारें होंगी सौ दरारें होंगी पर कभी न होंगी दूरियां छोटी छोटी तेरी गलतियां मंजूर है छोटी छोटी तेरी गलतियां.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.
This program was presented by Abhishek Mukhopadhyay, scripted by Suparna Saikia, produced by Sharmila Goswami and assisted by Kamlesh Mudgal. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.